Some people are standing behind me.
State of New California. Notice to all Californians, Grievance 58. New California is a new state in development, exercising its constitutional right to form from the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Section 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3 and Section 4. We are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States. New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards to their future security. The preamble of the New California State Constitution states, "We, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our posterity." The First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances." The counties of New California bring forward 95 grievances to be announced in public on Tuesday at 11 a.m. State of New California, Grievance 58, Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence upon the citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government is in direct violation of the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6, Section 2. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made and or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land. And the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. Mass disaster is the order of the day. The California Socialist governor, the socialist monoparty system government, along their socialist associates in the county and the city levels, are engaging in mass disaster in the rural counties of California, known as New California State. For years, the socialist governors and monoparty system have been using climate change and global warming as an excuse to divert money from necessary infrastructure to keep all Californians safe and secure. Now, California is faced with one of the wettest years on record, and the infrastructure to keep all citizens safe is in failure mode. California's system of waterways, dams, and reservoirs were once the envy of the world and served the growing populations of citizens well until socialist governors, the monoparty system, and socialist county and city officials started to illegally divert both federal and state money away from the maintenance, upkeep, and construction of this critical infrastructure. It is obvious these socialist government leaders have used the money dedicated for critical infrastructure to enrich themselves and their cronies to push a radical agenda of environmentalism that is now poised to create death and destruction on a scale never before seen in modern times. Californians have witnessed this scenario before over the last 10 years with our socialist governor and his socialist cronies using massive fires across the state to create a form of disaster capitalism, where they failed to use federal and state money to properly manage forests, which set the stage for massive fires, which caused hundreds of deaths, massive environmental damage, and billions of dollars in property damage. Federal and state money, which was intended to be used on infrastructure, having been diverted to illegal activities, has also hindered the abilities of first responders and protective services to properly plan for anticipated massive flooding in the areas prone to suffer the most from improperly maintained dams, levees, and waterways. Being properly prepared for an emergency is just as important as the response, but the money to be prepared and ready to respond is not available to first responders and local officials, including the California National Guard, because the California state government does not have the cash reserves to pay these necessary assets. The stage is set for mass disaster. The world saw in 2017 the near death of over 1 million Californians when the Oroville Dam was allowed by state officials to overtop and go into failure mode. Because California had been in a socialist declared drought, the Oroville Dam was left in deliberate disrepair for years. Oroville Dam is only one of the thousands of dams in California in similar states of disrepair. Insurrection. The government of California, the current governor and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a United States federal law that governs the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of secession. Therefore, the California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor has usurped power, has created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to secede from the United States of America and thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting communist governor of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the state and citizens of the United States living in California. Prayer. The citizens of New California state pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States citizens living in the state of New California. This concludes these proceedings.